What's going on, everybody? I'm here to talk about the A650E transmission out of the Lexus. You can find these in the Lexus IS 2001, 2004, 2005, something like that. The GS300 has it, and the GS400, I believe, and I know for a fact the 430 has it because this is one out of a GS430. Might also be able to find these in the Lexus LS series as well. But anyway, the topic of discussion is obviously I'm swapping a V8 into this Lexus IS right here, and I'm using the factory transmission. So somebody wanted to know if I had swapped out the tail shaft, because let me see if I can swing it around. The Lexus IS tail shaft is different. This is one out of the GS, and the IS one just slides in, whereas the GS one has 3 bolts that they want you to bolt in. So I tried to remove that tail shaft so that I could get the factory tail shaft out the IS transmission and swap it over, but it just didn't work out that way for me. What I did end up doing was first and foremost, so pretty much, let me just dial it back a little bit. The topic of this video is trying to get the transmission for the IS300 to fit onto a 1UZ or 3UZ V8 and still use the factory transmission and the drive shaft and all that stuff. So you don't have to get any custom anything. You may have to make a custom mount, but that's a whole nother story. So as far as getting the factory IS300 transmission to fit onto the V8 of a 1UZ or 3UZ, what you need to do is, first and foremost, you need to remove the bell housing off of the IS300, because this is a 2JZ engine originally. You can see the starters on this side, and the UZ series, the starter cutout is at the top. So you need to remove this. And then what you need to do is remove the bell, not the bell housing, but the torque converter. You need to remove the torque converter. That just pulls right out. You're gonna need the factory torque converter for the V8. Also, you need to take out the transmission oil pump. And you need this because this input shaft from the 2JZ series does not fit into the V8s. So you need a transmission from the V8 to swap all this stuff. And all this stuff is pretty easy. Like if you buy a donor car, if you buy a GS 400 or 430 or LS 400 or 430, if you yank the engine and the harness and the transmission, you're gonna have everything you need. So once you take all the bolts out, there's gonna be bolts all the way around here, 12 mil. Just take all those out. And what you're gonna do is, in order to draw this pump out, the pump itself has threads. There's one here, and directly across from it, there's one there. So you'll see the rest of these holes are empty. That's just for the bolt to slide through. And this one has threads. They're bigger than the ones that you take out here. So you're going to take a bigger size bolt, probably a 14 mil bolt. If you can find a 14 mil bolt anywhere on the car, which should be pretty easy, just take that, shove it in here, and what that's going to do is, if you put a bolt here, tighten it, it's going to draw it out. If you've done brake drums on, like rear brake drums on cars, that's pretty much the easiest way to get the drums off, is just to put bolts in it and to walk it out. So once you do that, you walk it out, you pop it out, you can take this whole pump and try to grab the whole assembly too. Don't let it fall apart. So grab the shaft, grab the input shaft and the pump, and pull the whole thing out. Just like that. Make sure you have this piece, make sure you have all this, make sure you got everything. Now, what you're going to do is, you're going to take all the stuff that you just took off the V8 transmission, and then you're going to remove all the stuff from the IS transmission, and you're just going to swap it over. So anything front half that came off the V8 transmission, the transfer, not the transfer pump, but the transmission oil pump, the torque converter, and the bell housing, it's all going to swap right back into here. I've done it. As far as putting these back in, there is like a little bit of wiggling process. This is probably gonna be the toughest part, really. But once you get this dropped in there and you get all the bolts secure, you're gonna be good to go. So we'll put that down. And like I said, once you get that oil pump put in there, you can put the torque converter on it too. And then you can put the, actually, what you probably end up doing first, you probably end up putting the bell housing on first. Yeah, you're gonna put the bell housing on first after you do your oil pump, and then you can put the torque converter on there. And then once you get all that, your factory IS300 will be able to mate to the back of a 1UZ or 3UZ engine, the Toyota V8s. So pretty much this is, if you're trying to do a UZ swap into your IS300, this is for you. Hopefully, if you're trying to reuse the factory transmission and factory drive shaft, this should all work. I'm not gonna lie to you, the car, I haven't started it up yet. I don't know how long the transmission is gonna last, but as of right now, everything fits together, everything spins. I have park, reverse, neutral, and my forward gears as well. So only time will tell as far as how long that transmission is gonna last. But this center section, the A650E, this is the same as the one in here, and it should be the same as the one as the rest of them. I don't know if they changed anything internally, but just looking at everything, all the connectors fit exactly the same. The speed sensors fit exactly the same. It's just the front half and the back half are different. And this shifter cable is different too. It's just longer. It's just longer in the GS than it is the IS. Obviously, the GS is a longer vehicle. But other than that, that should be able to get you going. You can thank Toyota and the interchangeable parts. So hopefully this was helpful. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can hit me up in the comment section, or I'll try to put a link to my Instagram. It's a little bit easier for me to answer direct messages that way through Instagram. So hope that's helpful, and everybody take it easy, be safe.